Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing with you a bunch of completely free crochet patterns for this fall. So they're overall mostly fall, but some are a little more on the Halloween side, but they're all super cute and completely free. And I have 3 different categories, so majority of these patterns are going to be on Instagram. That is my favorite place to find free patterns just because it's super easy and it's super easy to keep track of them. I have a collection that I save them to. That's what it's called on Instagram, is collections. And I actually, one thing I like about it is the fact that I can share it between my main account and my art account. So no matter which account on, I can always save it to the same exact collection. So super convenient, super easy. And also a lot of the ones I find on Instagram just tend to be a lot cuter than places I see everywhere else. I just find a lot more cuter ones on Instagram than YouTube or Pinterest or whatever. But I do also have some on YouTube and Pinterest. So we're gonna start with those 2 categories since I don't have as many YouTube ones or as many Pinterest ones as I do for Instagram patterns that I found. And so obviously the YouTube ones are videos, since YouTube is literally a platform for videos. But I believe these ones do also have a written pattern available, but if not, that's what the video is for, you know? So yeah, I will also make sure to link everything in the description below. I'm not putting it on a Google Doc or anything. I'm just going to individually link each post. So it'll be kind of long, but that'll just be easier for me than trying to format a Google Doc to share. And also that way I can link each individual post. So for example, a lot of the times the ones on Pinterest, it'll have a picture on Pinterest, right? But then you've got to click the link to go to the website. But I will be linking that pin on Pinterest that I found. So that way you can see that exactly where I found it. If you want to look through the comments or anything, you can. But then you also have the link to the website in the pin on Pinterest. Does that make sense? I hope it does. So starting with the YouTube patterns, right off the bat, we've just got a basic crochet pumpkin. And there are going to be a lot of pumpkins that I mentioned throughout this video. So I want to go ahead and say that the general gist of it is basically just making a rectangle and then sewing it together like a cylinder, stuffing it, and like sewing it closed. You know what I mean? Like, and there's tons of ways you can do it. Like, I've made pumpkins before and I've never actually followed a pattern. I just kind of wing it because it's a very simple concept. And it kind of makes more sense once you see it done. It probably doesn't make as much sense with me just trying to explain it. But there will be a lot of pumpkins throughout this video, and even though I know they're generally all like the same concept, but I just think it's really cool to see the different ways people do it. Like there's one that I saw with bobble stitches, or ones that people make that are way bigger, way smaller. You know, I like seeing the different ways that people do things, and also I want to give you guys all of those different options too. So starting out with the pumpkin, then I also found a couple really cute ghost patterns, and one of them I actually have made before and it was really cute, but I gave it to a friend so I don't have it with me to show. Then we've also got some really cute car hangers, and these I really want to make for myself. They're so cute, and I love the little ghost with the little pumpkin. It's so cute. And then there is another pumpkin tutorial that I found that is not only just a pumpkin, but it also comes with coasters. So the coasters are like a little leaf to match to go with the pumpkin. So you can have it as decor, but then also you can just move the pumpkin to the side and use the coaster. And I just think it's so cute. So now we're gonna move on to the Pinterest category, and we're gonna start with a can cozy. For this can cozy, I just really liked the design of it. You can use 2 different colors, and so I guess this could actually be for all year round, but the picture obviously was very fall themed. So I just really liked the look of that. Then I also found a pumpkin beanie, and this one is another one you could make for a ton of different things. And also you could make the beanie however you want to make it. Like, I just do the most simple beanie pattern when I do beanies. Basically just a rectangle and cinch it together at the top. Boom, you're done. And then obviously sew up the side, you know. But to make it a pumpkin, you just add the little sprout, little stem with a leaf at the top, and then do the actual base of the beanie in an orange color. And it looks like a pumpkin, and it's so cute. And especially if you do a stitch where it's pretty much anything but in the back loops only, so it gives it that like ribbed texture, even more pumpkin-like. Super cute. And so I don't know if that's exactly how they did that in that one, but super easy, super cute. I love it. And you could also recreate that for pretty much any other kind of fruit too. Okay, sorry the lighting's a little different. My ring light was really hurting my eyes, so I turned it down a little bit. Moving on, I found this super cute free pattern for a Triceratops plushie, which I have actually made this before. However, this one is candy corn themed, so it is so freaking cute. I love it. And I think in the picture it was just the regular version, but she might have a version for the mini one too. So I know for this pattern, it's the Tanner the Triceratops pattern by Nicole Chase. And I've made both sizes, the big one and the small one. I prefer the smaller one, especially since I crochet with thicker yarn, so it's already going to turn out a decent size anyway. And I'm assuming that the candy corn modification is for both patterns, but I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to double check that. Nonetheless, it's super cute. Then we have a cup cozy, different than a can one. So this one is open at the bottom and just like a little sleeve that you put on your coffee cup or whatever. And then I just picked this one just because it was just a plain solid one. And when I think of fall crochet stuff, I immediately think of cup koozies or cozies, whatever you want to call it, cup sleeves, because I feel like fall, one of the big essences of fall is just pumpkin spice lattes, obviously. And then just like coffee, having a hot coffee when it's cold outside, and just the vibes, right? And so my mind automatically goes to having a cup sleeve to put on your coffee. So I just picked this one just because it was plain and simple, and then obviously you can modify it to whatever color you want it to be, so browns, oranges, reds, anything like that for fall. Even like some greens, maybe just more earthy tones. That'll be super cute. And then next we have a heart cup cozy, which I think is also adorable. So similar concept, just a plain cup cozy, but then you add a heart onto it, and I just think it's absolutely adorable. Next, I found a pattern for these autumn cuties, which was an acorn, a pumpkin, and a mushroom. So super cute. And even though I feel like the pumpkin is obviously the most fall related, but even the acorn and the mushroom still, you know, earthy things, fall vibes. I just love it. Super cute. Then we have a pumpkin and acorn garland, which I think is super cute. One of the cutest decorative fall items. And I mean, of course you could switch it up. You could do all acorns, all pumpkins, whatever you want. Or even, I think even just general like greenery, like a leaf garland is just cute by itself, even without the pumpkins and acorns. And then lastly, we have one more pumpkin that is actually made with a bobble stitch. And I think that is so cute and not something I would have normally thought of. I saw it and I thought it was so cute. And so I don't know if that one's actually linked to a free pattern, but I do remember seeing them like explain it in the caption or the comments. But essentially, like I was talking about earlier, how you make any normal pumpkin with it being like a rectangle, sewing it together, you know, but in that rectangle using bobble stitches. And so it's just so cute. I love it. Now we're gonna move on to the Instagram patterns. So these ones I have far more than I did for the YouTube and Pinterest, just because I already save free patterns on Instagram all the time, and so I also think it was just easier for me to find more free patterns that were also different than just doing a same old pumpkin over and over again. Yes, there are still some pumpkins in this category, but they're not all just the same thing. So the first one I want to start out with isn't necessarily a fall pattern, but it was giving fall to me when I saw it, and it's the Toad Mato, and it's basically just a little, like, I guess technically a toad, but basically a frog, you know, that looks like a tomato. And they did it in like, what was it, green and red and like a yellow color, I don't remember, but it was just so cute and it was giving me fall vibes. But then I was also thinking, I know it's supposed to be a tomato, but also if you made it orange, you could also just say it's a pumpkin, you know what I mean, like a pumpkin frog. It's kind of giving the same vibes. Either way, it's fall vibes, and it is so freaking cute, and I am 100% going to be making that at some point. Next, I found this really cute pumpkin bear pattern. So adorable. I love it. Then I found another car hanger pattern, and this one is for a ghost. And then the first bat pattern that I've seen and it is an adorable little chubby bat. It's so cute. I absolutely love when plushies are fat. Even my own patterns that I've written for stuff, like when I'm making a plushie, any kind of animal, I want it to be chunky. I want it to be a very chubby, chunky, fat little animal. I just think it makes it 1,000 times cuter. They're so cute. So I'm obsessed with this chubby bat. Then we found a really cute pumpkin pie. So adorable. And obviously you could do that with or without the face. You could just do a plain pumpkin pie or add the eyes onto it, which I would probably do anyway because I love making plushies, and adding a face onto anything just makes it cute. Then the classic iconic pumpkin spice latte. I'm so happy I found a free pattern for that. Then I found a pattern for a large pumpkin, and I haven't made it myself, but this is one of the ones that I think is made differently than the traditional pumpkin of doing like a rectangle and like cinching it together and whatever. This one looked a little different. And I also just thought it was made really well and looked really good, so that's why I included it. Alright, next is one of my absolute favorite ones, the pumpkin jelly cat. I am obsessed with all of these jellycat crochet patterns. I am planning on making a separate YouTube video of me crocheting some jellycats. They are so stinking cute. So, along with the jellycat, I also found a peanut jellycat. And I want to go ahead and skip ahead to later in my notes while I'm on the jellycat subject. I also found an espresso jellycat. So adorable. And I just threw the peanut one and the espresso one in there just because I feel like, I mean, they're both brown, you know, close enough. Fall vibes, you know. Still the same fall vibes, even though it's not a pumpkin. But they're also cute. I literally want to make all of them. Alright, moving on from the jellycats. Then there is a pattern for a little mini pumpkin, which I think is super cute. And then a mini potion. So that one's a little more on the Halloween side, but still super cute. And then obviously you can make it in all different colors. And then this one's kind of random and not intended for fall necessarily, but to me, I think it's fall. And that is a super cute cow pattern. I also am in the works of writing my own cow pattern, which also includes a longhorn Highland cow variation. So that'll be up on my Instagram at some point, but it is still in the works. And I've also got other free patterns that I still need to release on my Instagram. So stay tuned for those and go follow me if you want some more free patterns. But I just think cows just in general, I don't know, they make me think of fall. And I think part of it is because of the Highland cow and them being like a brown or reddish orange color, you know? I guess that's it for me. Like just brown and orange colors, they make me think of fall, right? So, you know, you got Highland cow and then just cows in general. So I threw it in there. Found a free pattern for it. Thought it was cute. So there you go. And next we have a mini acorn pattern, which I think is super cute. And so I know we had the acorn from the garland before in the Pinterest section, but this one is specifically made to be mini. So less stitches, overall just smaller. And I think it's super cute. Then we have a mini pumpkin keychain. So I know I had a mini pumpkin earlier, but this one is specifically to be a keychain, which I guess technically you could turn anything into a keychain by just adding a keychain to it. But there's more options for you. Then I saw these really cute patterns for a cow keychain and a donkey keychain. And so they are specifically made to be little mini plushies because obviously they're made to be a keychain, so they gotta be small. And I think they are so cute. And again, with the cow thing I said earlier, like at this point now it's just ranging into farm animals. So cow and a donkey keychain. I think it's cute, so I wanted to include it. Next I have a crochet crow with a witch hat. And I think it's so adorable. And that one I guess is a little more Halloween-y than just fall in particular. Because I mean, it's a crow. I feel like that's associated more with Halloween. And then obviously the witch hat too. But it's so cute. Then we have a ghost huggies pattern, which I think is adorable. And I don't know if they're exactly the same as like a snuggler, like meant for babies. I think it might just be because like it looks like they're hugging something, like holding a pumpkin or whatever it may be. But either way, it's adorable and I love it. Okay, next we have what I think is gonna be my favorite out of all of these patterns. And that is the Halloween ghost puppies. They are so adorable. And I love dogs. Okay, I have a weenie dog and he is the cutest thing ever. If you've seen my other videos, you've probably seen him before. He is adorable. And this is just puppies, but in a little ghost sheet costume. It's so cute. I love it. So I gotta make one of those at some point. So cute. Then next we have a ghost keychain and then a ghost and pumpkin keychain. So kind of a, I don't remember if it was a 2-in-1 or if it was 2 separate patterns by the same person. You'll see it on the screen and it'll be linked below. Either way, they're cute. I've been saying everything is cute in this video. And then lastly, but certainly not least, because this one is also super cute and adorable, like I've been saying about everything else. But we have this adorable cat pumpkin. It's a little pumpkin with a little black cat poking out from behind it. So adorable. Or I guess it's not necessarily behind it, it's more like the cat's inside the pumpkin poking his head out. Either way, I don't care. Super cute. I love it. And it's mini too. It's so small. Everything is automatically 10 times cuter when it's small. Alright, well that is it for all of the fall crochet patterns that I found for free. All of these are for free. So be sure to check them out. I'll have them linked in the description box below. And also be sure to go follow me on Instagram. And so if you do make anything, please tag me in it because I would love to see it. Or send me a DM. Either works. I don't care. I would love to see if y'all make any of these. And then I also have my own free patterns on my Instagram that you guys can use too. They're not specifically fall related, which is why I didn't really mention them, but I do have free patterns. And I have more in the works that are honestly actually already finished. I just need to edit the pictures and type it up and, you know, actually post it. So there will definitely be more free patterns coming out soon. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at emmi.diy. And I would love to see what you guys make. Even if it's not stuff from this video, I don't care, show me. Alright guys, that is all that I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any other free pattern suggestions, definitely link them, because I'd love to see them too and potentially use them. But yeah, that is all that I have. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!